Talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
Well, good morning. Happy Tuesday to you today. It's a terrific Tuesday on Talkback. That's my tagline for Tuesdays. Nathan Martin, Stephen Maxwell in the studio this morning. Back to the regular rotation of Easter week. I will be filling in for Al Mondays and Wednesdays, but I'm here on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And so Stephen has to put up with me all week long. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. How's it going?
It's going well. I was a little disappointed. I stopped by I have a couple of regular places I go on the way here this morning, on the way in. And one of the places I go often has pre-made sandwiches and, whatever. And they had nothing this morning.
Uh-oh.
Nothing was made. It was Circle K there at Military Highway. So I got my big old Polar Pop that I get my whatever many ounces of insanity there. And then I had to get a bag of chips instead of a nice hot croissant or...
What kind of chips?
Sour cream and onion, I think.
Or those are good.
Sour cream and cheddar.
Those are good.
Yeah, we're good. And then I got a chicken salad sandwich.
Oh, you got a sandwich?
They're okay, but...
It doesn't hit them more.
No, like it didn't. I am not... Yeah. My palate... My taste buds are not doing what they should do right now. So
you wanted eggs and bacon.
I really do like eggs and bacon. I like eggs and sausage and cheese on a croissant or on an English muffin. Or a lot of times I'll go to Sonic and get the little breakfast burrito over there. They have a very good breakfast burrito. But
I hate breakfast burritos.
You hate breakfast burritos? What is wrong with you?
I hate them.
Dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I do like a McMuffin or croissants. Those are good.
Wait a minute. I can't get past you don't like breakfast burritos.
No, I don't know. When I was a kid, if I had it too much or something, I don't know.
Really?
I'm not a big fan.
I didn't have any growing up. So now I love breakfast tacos in Texas and Mexico.
I don't know if I've had a breakfast taco.
They're similar to a burrito. They're just, the difference between burrito and a taco is it's open on one side.
Probably wouldn't like it. Maybe I like those better, different shape.
Well, Texas, and South Texas especially, they're everywhere. And breakfast taco stands are everywhere. So, I enjoy them. Throw a little salsa in there, and it's okay.
I like a breakfast arepa. Good.
Now you're going to get me started on South America.
That's what I'm saying.
Somebody's on the line. I hope it's somebody. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Stephen and Nathan.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for taking my call. I didn't hear who you hoped it would be, but it's me.
No, I didn't say. Actually, I was just hoping it wasn't the ghost caller that calls in sometimes and listens. So I'm just glad it's somebody for real.
No. I'm actually calling in reference to Kim Commando. I don't know if y'all heard her as y'all were warming up to come on the air.
We were chatting, so we didn't pay attention to her. What'd she say?
Okay. Well, she said something disturbing. She was talking about AI, and she said that there's been a 5-fold increase recently of it misbehaving, of it doing things it's not supposed to do, like lying. Or she gave an example of one time it was someone told it not to send some memos, and so it created another AI character and had it send the memo. So almost like a child saying, I didn't do it, they did it,
Wow.
But then she ended it with saying, this is no longer the stuff of science fiction. And that was a little disconcerting because I count her as a pretty good source. I have a year and a half of computer science in my belt, and that's it. And that was in 1983 and 1984, so it's useless. It seems to me the people who talk about it fall into two camps. One camp says, look out, it's going to do all the bad things you think it's going to do. And the other group says it's just programming. It can't do anything on its own. Now, Dr. Larry Arndt interviewed these two guys that were experts, and they were talking about, at the end, he asked them about the marrying of AI to robots. And he said, look, the greatest thing in my life right now is my 3-year-old granddaughter. He said, can they ever make up a robot that would act like her as I lost her, and they could come sit on my knee and call me Papa? And he said, yes, they could. And so I was wondering, my request to y'all is, can y'all get somebody from LSUA or from LC or somewhere that can explain to us how a computer can misbehave? I thought only people could misbehave. I thought machines had to do what they were designed to do. I mean, after that, it's no longer a machine, is it? So,
I don't know what it would be called. How can a computer misbehave?
That was her verbiage. She said, we've had a 5-fold increase in the last few months of AI reports of it misbehaving, meaning doing something it was not, I guess, told to do. How can a computer not do what it's programmed to do? That would be my question.
I mean, there's been a lot of people use like ChatGPT or whatever for some sort of like therapy or medical advice. And there's been some lawsuits lately where someone might be suicidal or wanting to inflict self-harm. And they were alleging, or family alleged, that the model was almost guiding them into committing that act.
I heard about that, and that's bad. But what's worse is if the computer on its own decides people are bad, and so when you go for advice, it purposely tells you something that would kill you.
Yeah, I think that's been the main concern with AI, especially down the road when it comes to ASI or even AGI, because we're not even at that point yet. But if they become...
So anyways, y'all are the people with the connections in my life, so if y'all could get somebody to explain those things, I sure would appreciate it. And I'll be listening for the rest of the show. Y'all have a great day.
Well, thanks, Dave. Great to hear from you this morning. Appreciate that. And I'll be asking. I've got a contact at LC in their computer department over there, Theo Chasson. I'll speak with him. And then we'll reach out to our LSUA friends and ask them a similar question. I did quickly run over to Kim Komando. They don't have today's Web Minute on the Facebook page, on their website yet. But they do have an artificial and intelligence section, and I saw a story on there from a week ago. It says the AI chatbot you use every day has a point of view, and researchers proved it. They had multiple universities testing the biggest AI chatbots on political questions, and the results probably could surprise things. Number one is that the 24 chatbots used for political bias, ChatGPT leans left, Grok is closest to the center, but it says is wildly unpredictable. Gemini leans left, and Claude scores closest to neutral. So I haven't read the entire story. I've just hit the headlines at the top. It did say, though, that Grok 67% has extreme responses. It either is hard left or hard right. So you never know what you're going to get. Like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get. So that was interesting to see. And I look forward to reading more of that story. But we all believe they have bias. It's can't have it without being programmed into it. Another note on there was, as today's story on the Kim Komando artificial intelligence page, was that ChatGPT is taking notes on you. And you can figure out everything it knows about you. You can find out. So I think I'll be asking ChatGPT, what do you know about me?
And I find it interesting, too, because I usually use ChatGPT. It's the one I paid for, and it was, I guess, the most popular one from the start. I thought about changing, but it's kind of interesting. I'll ask it a number of different things. But sometimes I'll, argue with it just to see how it responds to arguments that I might have about something. And sometimes I'll argue, religion, right? I think I've said this before. And it was basically kind of surprised me. It was trying to coax me into Christianity. You know what I'm saying? I am, but it's just I like to argue with it, try and sharpen my skills, right? And it was kind of like, maybe you should give it a thought about this and that and the other. So it's interesting how it works. Because usually it just tells you what you want to hear, they say. Yeah. But not all the time.
And it usually compliments you, too. That's a great insight, Nathan.
Great insight, but no.
But what I have discovered is that I've tried to use it quite a bit for graphics generation, for sermon illustrations, or my backgrounds for my sermon slides, things like that, my title slide. And so I will tell it, give me a scene using this realistic photo background of this subject matter, but put this, 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 and this. And then I'll say, give it to me in 16:9 widescreen panoramic format. And it'll give it to me in more of a 5:3 or a 4:3 format, not a 16:9 widescreen. And so I'll tell it, I need this in 16:9. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't do that right.
Yeah.
Good catch, Nathan.
Yeah.
It gives me the exact same thing. And after about 3 times, I say, are you incapable of producing a 16:9? That's a great question. You're right. I am not able to make one. Well, why didn't you just say that from the beginning? So sometimes it's like talking to it.
It was scared to tell you it doesn't know how. But yeah, you can even change how it reacts to you. You can make it more point of the matter, and then or more congenial like that. So it just depends on what you want, I guess. It'll give you multiple responses too, and say, pick the one you like, and it kind of tailors to what you choose from that. So
do you use the voice? Do you talk to it? Let it talk back?
I use both. Yeah. Sometimes I'll use the video with the voice and
video with voice. I hadn't tried that.
Oh, you don't know what that is?
No.
I could pull up.
Show me on radio.
So you just pull it up, and then you can turn the camera on, and it has like the AI voice and everything.
But do you see them talking, or do you?
No, but it knows what we're looking at.
Oh, okay. So I have used it where you take a picture of something and it just, describe it. So,
but yeah, you could turn the camera on and say, hey, what? I mean, I think I did this with Al. It showed the software here right here, and it's like, oh, you're using StreamYard.
Oh, I heard that show that morning. Yeah. Well,
stuff like that. Who knows? I thought about doing Claude because people keep talking about Claude just to try it, or Grok or whatever. But yeah, most of the time I'm using it for like kind of non-serious stuff. Like look this up for me, or what does this mean, or does my clothes match?
You told me that. I've never done that before because I have a wife that does that for me.
Yeah.
And she picks my clothes out for me on Sundays anyway. And so when people compliment me on Sunday, you look sharp, Pastor. Thank my wife because I'm wearing whatever I have no clue when I get up what I'm going to wear that day. She picks it out for me and makes me look good.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Sometimes you want to use it for like medical advice too, and they say not to do that, but it's so hard not to.
I confess that I have used it, especially with known diagnosis. I'll ask it for more information. Actually, I don't want to get into HIPAA stuff, so, but I have used it to add to the information that doctors have given me. So I find it helpful. I have found it helpful.
Or does this drug interact with this one? Kind of thing.
Side effects.
And if it hates me, I'll just tell me, no, you're good. Next thing you know.
Well, we could have the AI hour. Who knows? We might do that. But we need your phone calls, 318-442-8255. Give us a call. It's Open Line Tuesday all day long. No guests today. On this Holy Week of Easter, we would look forward to hearing from you today. We got to take the bottom of the hour break. We'll be back after Bloomberg.
If you want us to quit talking about it, call.
That's right. BOM Talk Line, 318-442-8255.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. In an effort to expand its treatments in immunology and rare diseases, Biogen has agreed to acquire Apellis Pharmaceuticals for $5.6 billion. The Massachusetts-based biotech company will pay $41 a share, more than double Apellis' closing price as of Monday. Apellis' stock has declined 32% so far this year, while Biogen shares were down about 1%. A deal could be announced as early as today on Unilever selling most of its food business to seasoning giant McCormick. The deal would be for $15.7 billion in cash up front and the rest in McCormick equity. It will recast Unilever as a global leader in beauty, personal, and home care while catapulting McCormick into a global spice, seasonings, and condiments giant. Airbnb is getting a bit fancier by offering private car pickups in major markets outside the U.S., through a partnership with Welcome Pickups. The service, which can be booked directly within the Airbnb app, will be available to guests traveling to 125 cities across Asia, Europe, and Latin America. Dan Schwartzman, Bloomberg Radio.
Well, good morning. A little bit of fog to start us out on this Tuesday, but things getting better quickly. Partly sunny skies, breezy today with the afternoon high temps near 86. We'll see winds out of the south. They'll gust as high as 20. Could see an afternoon shower, early evening shower, maybe even a thunderstorm. Overnight lows tonight down to 64. And tomorrow looks like more of the same, that chance of an afternoon thunderstorm with the high temps near 87. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. Now back to Talkback.
Well, we welcome you back to Talk Back. We were talking about AI before the break, and we would love for you to rescue us from AI and tell us what's going on in your world. Happy to talk about anything you want to talk about. Believe it or not, we would even talk about carbon sequestration.
No, just kidding.
Well, the reason I say that is because the Rapids Spirits Journal has a story today about Representative Mike Johnson has pre-filed 3 bills to do with that. And they are House Bills 5, 6, and 7. 5 is a bill that if I recall right, I'm trying to remember. I know 6 is the one for Rapides Parish specifically. I think 5 is to allow across the state any parish to have local determination, local votes. And then House Bill 7 is the one that would repeal the statutes that allow the private companies the power of eminent domain, that force you to go to court and sell your land. They would have to do it voluntarily. And so he pre-filed these way back in January, I think the first day of the pre-filing session. And so as you read through the story, there's a quote by him. He said, "I filed these bills because I listen to the people I represent, and I take their concerns seriously. Protecting private property and respecting local decision-making are core Louisiana values." He goes on, though, to say, "You won't find a word in any of these bills I've sponsored that says kill the industry or discourage the industry. My motivation is not, my basis is not a motivation to hurt industry." So he's balancing economic development and the concerns of the local citizenry. And I know people are appreciative of him doing that. In the last session, there was a bill, an attempt to allow statewide voting or parish by parish voting that failed. We'll see if it gets out of the House or the Senate this time around. So that's something that folks might want to pay attention to, or I'm sure are paying attention to. And I'm looking forward to seeing how that progresses. I didn't take the time yet to go look at the where the status is because we're so early in the session, but you can go to legis.la.us and you can put in a bill number and find out exactly where it's at. So, by the way, have you paid much attention to the new amphitheater in Alexandria, how good that's looking?
Yeah, I saw it yesterday. It looked pretty good.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you like drive
from
by
Pineville?
There? Okay.
Yeah. Just looking at it from across the river. You kind of just look at the updates every once in a while.
Yeah. Well, they're just about to wrap that up, from my understanding. D'Argent was the company that won the bid to do that, and my understanding is they're working on their punch list now. I wonder if the city of Alexandria will have some sort of ribbon cutting or presentation. That would be very nice. That is a very lovely facility, like that 3-tiered dome. Almost kind of makes you think of Sydney, Australia, or some other really nice looking feature on the water. So you look forward to seeing that become available to the people to use.
It'll be nice, with that, and then what Pineville has in store for the riverfront as well. It looks like it's going to be a nice little area. And then, like we talk about all the time, the downtown Pineville and military over there, it's been revamped and it looks awesome. So that whole corridor could be pretty nice down the road.
Will be very interesting to see how the the Pineville Founders Pavilion takes place. You'll have the artist rendering, but you do wonder what the physical part will look like. My understanding, I do know the city of Pineville, the council, we voted last month to purchase some land and to kind of finalize, because there's 3 different entities that own land down there on the river. So there's opportunities for different ones to, or we needed to consolidate the land purchase to make that happen. And so that vote was finalized. I'm trying to think, there was another piece of downtown information that is escaping me right now. So, okay. Do you like getting your vehicle inspected every year or every other year?
Love it. It's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah. My sarcasm meter is working right now. Believe it or not, I'm not good at sarcasm. My wife is trying to teach me how to be sarcastic, but I don't do it very well. I'm usually mean when I'm sarcastic. But there's another bill that is trying to make its way through the House of Representatives and the Senate. And the lawmakers took their first step towards eliminating that inspection sticker program during a House Transportation Committee meeting yesterday. Representative Larry Bagley from Stonewall filed a bill to replace the sticker with a QR code. I saw you shake your head. So he's been trying to get inspection stickers expired or eliminated since 2017, and he's failed 7 times to get it eliminated. But this time around, it looks like Governor Jeff Landry might even be on board. In the first day of the legislative session, he gave a speech that said the traditional vehicle inspection sticker process is annoying, it's inconvenient, it serves little value to the safety of our roads. It does provide some money, I think, to the state troopers. That's about all it does. What do you think? Does having vehicle inspection stickers make our roads safer?
No.
I think years ago it may have been.
No.
I mean, I'm talking about in the 60s and 70s when people could build jalopies and.
Oh, maybe.
And there's so much more hybrid stuff, not hybrid, like modern hybrid, but taking parts off of this thing and putting it on that thing. And you didn't know if he had no clue if the headlights were going to work or the brakes were going to work.
It's just a tax.
It is another tax.
Yeah. No, I think all of Louisiana wants them gone, except for that one, like you said, state police, I think got the funding, but I think they've come up with other options for that. And let's get rid of it. Let's make Louisiana inspection sticker free from now until eternity.
So here's a footnote. It says Louisiana's inspection program was created decades ago when vehicles did not have the advanced safety systems and diagnostic technology that modern vehicles have today. Now vehicles are able to monitor their engine performance, emission systems, and other functions, alerting drivers with warning lights when issues arise so that they can be addressed promptly. Here you go. You ready for this? The QR code would cost $6 a year versus $10 a year for a new inspection sticker. And you would not have to go through an inspection sticker process. You just would get the QR code in the mail when getting your license plate and registration renewal.
What's the point of the QR code again?
What's the point of it?
Yeah.
Just to say you have it, I guess.
What?
It's almost like an additional registration.
I'm so annoyed. There are multiple states who don't even use any sort of inspection sticker.
Now, what I don't get, Texas has 2 stickers. And I don't know what the 2 stickers are for, but if you notice that. Let's go to the phone line. Maybe this caller has the clue. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Stephen and Nathan.
Yes, good morning. Hey, just a couple of things. First time caller, by the way.
Oh, wonderful.
Nice.
Yeah, the inspection sticker. I wouldn't mind paying $10 a year, $20 a year, probably even $30 a year. If we could get something done about the highways, the condition of the highways in Louisiana. I drive in my job, been doing it for years, 30 years or more. I drive all over Louisiana, from every nook and cranny to every major city. And it's disgusting how bad our roads and highways, the condition of them.
Yep.
And that's one thing that you don't hear our representatives and senators talking about. You don't even hear the governor talking about it. And I travel a lot also out of state, and it's just unreal. And as far as the inspection sticker, hey, it's useless, but why replace it with something else? It's a shell game, I believe, just to distract the voters from the real problems. And Louisiana, to me, highways should be right there top, along with insurance issues and educational issues, as to getting our state back on the track to the right direction. I have a couple of children, and they're living in other states and won't come back here.
Wow.
So, and I rank highways right at the top as some of the reasons in insurance for that. But on a lighter note, you know what we need to do? We need to get Stephen a Buc-ee's breakfast burrito.
Hey, if you put brisket in there, I might do it.
I'm telling you, go to Buc-ee's, Baytown, or any of them that I've stopped at. They are great.
If it is Buc-ee's, I might do it. That's fair enough.
I am
it's
so
good.
glad you called.
Yeah.
That's great. Great idea.
All right, you guys.
All right,
y'all have a good day.
Appreciate it.
We should go on a field trip.
I'm ready, man.
Look, we should have our own where the citizens go to each road and inspect the road and give it back to the state.
Oh, wow.
And we'll give them a sticker. See how they like it. He's right, though. I think that's a big issue. Like the first thing when you're driving in from another state and then you just hear because your car is shaking because the roads are so atrocious. I think it's a big deal for moving the state forward is rebuilding our infrastructure, and that starts with the roads. Like almost the Pineville project at Kingsville, where they have that nice smooth road underneath the overpass at 165, 167. But it's almost an awful idea because the rest of it looks like crap now. No offense. I know you can't say anything, but you're like, oh, nice smooth road there.
Well, especially when you get to the intersection there at Mary Hill and Military Highway, that intersection is horrible.
It just emphasized the dilapidated road.
There is a plan in place. DOTD is working on a program to redo that intersection, and hopefully that will have great improvement to the quality of that intersection. But it's tough.
And that's not a local leader's problem. That's a state problem, right?
It is. It is. Hey, we're late for the break, but I definitely wanted to delay it for that caller. So glad to have a first-time caller. Thank you for calling in. We need some more. 318-442-8255. Give us a call on the BOM talk line and keep us talking.
KSYL.
Some smiles sound like this, while others sound this way. If you'd like to improve the way your smile sounds, the folks over at Today's Dental in Pineville can deliver. Over the years, hundreds of Central Louisiana patients have visited Today's Dental and then left completely satisfied. Their dental implant procedure is amazingly simple, low anxiety, and completely affordable. Today's technology makes your beautiful smile easier than ever. The staff at Today's Dental go out of their way to make you comfortable with calming in-office IV sedation that's administered by a highly skilled certified nurse anesthetist. And their multiple finance options make the entire procedure truly affordable. Want your smile to sound better? Give Today's Dental a call at 318-448-4540. It's a general dental facility on Highway 28 East in Pineville, owned by Dr. Jonas Goche. That's 318-448-4540.
Tired of noisy neighbors? Want to keep pets in and problems out? Sounds like you need a Promo fence. At Promo Fencing and Lawn Care, our fences don't just work, they wow. From classic cedar and pine privacy fences to durable chain link, sleek metal, and aluminum. Even decorative fencing. We've got something for every home, yard, or business, big or small, residential or commercial. All with free estimates, expert installs, and small town customer care. Promo Fencing and Lawn Care. Fences that feel like home.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices. To learn more, visit GoVote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office. It's Talkback 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
I do want to say one thing before we go to the phone call. We had someone comment on our Facebook feed. By the way, if you can't be on the radio, listen to us on Facebook. We're live streaming and on YouTube. We're talking about inspection stickers, and it says, at least the cars are inspected for lights, operating, brakes, windshield cracks, and insurance for at least the 1 hour of that inspection. So, good Lord. It's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life. So that comment. That comment was smart. Talking about the inspection sticker.
Yeah. So, and people used to shop around. Hey, do you know anybody? I got a crack in my windshield. You know somebody that,
exactly.
Go to my cousin over and, so out of the $10 fee, $4.75 stays with the inspection station. That's what they get to keep. $4 goes to the state police and $1.25 goes to the OMV. So if they get rid of the inspections and they go to QR code, the inspection stations will lose the $4.75. And it will go from $10 to $6. So basically, they'll give up 75 cents. The state will, but they'll still be getting their money for the state police and OMV. So I guess you just don't have to go find somebody to wink at you that your windshield's busted. So, all right, let's go back to the phone line. Good morning. You want to talk back with Stephen and Nathan?
Hey, guys, this is Walter. I haven't called in a while, but your inspection sticker is spot on. It's probably about 4 years now that Representative Begley has been trying to get this thing passed, and now the issue is that it's going to pass because nobody loses money except the inspection sticker service areas, and the people don't get any of that money back. You can say, well, you don't have to spend that extra $4 or whatever. But it's just something that at least they were inspected, And now with the QR code, there's no telling what information is going to be on there. They claim it's just going to be a VIN number or something like that. But the whole thing really stinks. If you're going to get rid of something, just get rid of it. But, state police was against it because they wanted their money. Everybody wants their money. And I thought we were supposed to cut back on government. I don't know about that. But that's all I got to say about that.
Well, I appreciate it, Walter. And look, don't take so long between phone calls.
Well, I've been busy. Today, actually, I'm going to work. I'm a paramedic. And at the House side, they have HB7, which is for eminent domain. So, in other words, the CCS company make your land. So there's a bill now that's going to be heard. I think it's 9:30. We have groups and groups of people going up there. So that'll be. You can watch that on one of the legislative websites. You watch that live. There'll be a lot of going on. And of course, you got the pro CCS people that are just trying to throwing dirt into everything. They could insert people in the group saying that if you don't support this, I'll kill you. Just stupid stuff like that. It's like, come on, man. We're not violent. This isn't. We're not Antifa, please. We're going up there for a peaceful demonstration and enjoying the rights that we have as Americans and going to fight for what's right. So that'll be something else to watch, too. Another thing is Representative Dodie Horton just wanted to put an eagle on a driver's license. Oh, my goodness.
Put an eagle?
Yeah, just put an eagle stamp thing on the driver's license. I don't know the whole thing behind it, but I'm sitting there and I'm listening to this back and forth debate. Illegal aliens come into it and all that. I'm like, oh my God! By the time we get through with this eagle on your license, it's going to be a duck or a chicken. Who knows?
Maybe it'll be Benjamin Franklin's turkey.
It might be, but oh my God, it passed. But some of it, I just say, really, it fears me a lot to see that some of this stuff you see on the news, actually in our legislature. The Democrats, some of them are wanting to protect the illegal aliens in our state.
In our state,
I'm
that's
like,
hard to believe.
Yeah, it is. And the only recourse we have is their record. Their vote. You can. We have a lady here, Susie Labrie. She Louisiana Sunshine. If you subscribe to that page, she does a list of most, if not all, the bills that are coming up, what they're about, all these links. So if you want to get involved in it, and also LCAG, which is a big organization, Louisiana Citizen Advocacy Group.org. They are there all the time. I'm a member of LCAG. I'm there on Monday and Wednesdays, just watching out, putting in green cards, red cards on bad bills. And like one of the other bills is the two-way conversation. So I can't record you without your knowledge. And that's based on some of these people recording, let's say, girls, and the girls not knowing it, then putting them on Facebook or something like that. I don't know how that's going to go. I just see it being used, to protect a lot of nasty stuff that is going on in government. I don't think it's to protect anybody other than themselves.
Walter, we need your perspective, man. Thank you for calling and letting us know what's happening, and keep your eyes open.
Oh, absolutely. Appreciate you guys.
You too. We're going to jump over to the next line. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Stephen and Nathan.
Good morning, guys. It's Brendan Dubrock. How are y'all doing?
Good, Brendan. How are you?
Oh, doing great. Just about to pull up here in the Capitol in Baton Rouge.
Oh, man. 2 calls back to back from Baton Rouge. We have arrived, Stephen.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what are you down for? For the House Bill 7?
I am. And some other things. The LFRW ladies from across the state are coming to the Capitol today to tour. So, multiple offices are open. But you know what? It's Talk Tuesday, right? So I wanted to talk about some fishing and great outdoors in Central Louisiana. I had the pleasure of taking Jay McCauley with KLB TV this weekend fishing, and I wanted to invite Stephen come fishing with me.
Wow!
Now I wanted to give a report for all our outdoor enthusiasts. The sac-a-lait, the white perch, and the bass, they have spawned. This past full moon, they've moved back off the banks. Bass are moving back out into the coves. Sac-a-lait that we've been catching are in 12 to 14 foot of water. So, guys, now's the perfect time to go out. We have some wonderful, beautiful lakes in Central Louisiana, and I wanted to extend an invite to both you guys, and that I will take y'all fishing whenever y'all want, and we can go explore some of Central Louisiana's great lakes. And I just wanted to say thank you guys for all you do.
Well,
thank you guys have a blessed Easter weekend.
Man, appreciate that.
Let's go fishing.
My license just automatically renewed last week. So,
nice.
yeah, I like the fact that you can auto-renew your fishing license now. So
I do, too.
All right. Well, Brendan, thank you so much for that.
Man.
And we got to take a break. Got another call on the line. We'll be back to you right after this on Talkback.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics.
This is Dr. Jonathan Hunter. At The Clinics, your health is our priority. Whether
planning, successions, and business law. Call them at 47300.
Man, we've had a first-time caller this morning and a person who hadn't called in a long time. We'd love to hear from you today. Add your voice to the conversation with Stephen and Nathan, and we'll be back with more on Talkback after the top of the hour news.
You've been listening to Talkback. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers, and not necessarily those of Cenlaw Broadcasting.
AM 970, FM 104.9, KSYL, and KRRV 100.3, HD3, Alexandria.
This is CBS News on the Hour. Your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. We begin with the Iran war. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says talks
Welcome back. I always want to sing that tune. I like that little tune. Welcome back to Talk Back. It's the 31st day of March, the last day before you get to trick everybody with April Fool's Day tomorrow. Don't forget tomorrow.
Oh, I forgot.
Call you and tell you something that you're going to get a minor heart attack about, and then they're going to say April Fool's, and you're going to be mad at them.
You know, I think that's a horrible holiday.
I do too.
It's pretty dumb.
But my daughter loves. I have a daughter that absolutely loves it.
Oh,
I have
kids
two
love
daughters
it. Yeah.
that love it.
Yeah.
I have one. She called me. I was at. I don't know where I was at. I think I was in my office, and she goes, "Dad, I had an accident."
No, that's
And I'm
not
like,
funny.
Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. But my car. Don't worry about the car. Are the other people okay? Yeah, they're okay. Where are you? I was leaving LC, and I'm at the light, and I'll be right there. And then she's like, "No, Dad, it's a joke. April Fool's." Oh gosh, I could have just killed that little girl. In that moment,
I'm mad thinking about it.
she told me later, though, she said, you passed. Your first question was, are you okay? Your second question was, are the other people okay? You told me, don't worry about the car. She said, Dad, you passed.
Oh, thanks, honey. I
Well,
passed. Great. Yeah.
It just took 7 years off my life.
Thanks a lot.
Heart rate that went up during that time. And then I have another daughter that loves my littlest one. Man, she just thinks it's the best thing in the world. So I'm going to be on anything she says tomorrow. I'm not believing. I'm just not believing it.
No, you shouldn't.
I might call the daughter that did that to me about the wreck is the one that lives in Mississippi, and we're driving over there Thursday. I might call her.
Let me call her and say, hey, your dad is we can't find him. We don't know where he's at.
Oh my gosh. I was actually thinking of calling her and saying, look, I'm sorry, we're not gonna be able to come. Something's come up and I hate it. And then when she's like, oh, it's okay, Dad, I understand. Then I can be like, April Fools.
Yeah. I would hate that joke if my daughter, I'd be in meltdown mode. So.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'd love to hear what's the best April Fool's gag anybody has done. We got to be careful though, for you and me tomorrow. We may have some calls tomorrow that come in and trick us.
I'm going to post breaking news. Alexandria getting 4 more Olive Gardens in each corner of the city.
Yeah, but that's too wide open, man. You know, that's just way.
I'm going to do it.
First time I heard Olive Garden was coming, I thought, ain't no way.
Yeah.
And then it was proven to us, and I'm like,
that was my life's accomplishment. Breaking that story from Shreveport. I was like, I'll never miss that story. I don't care if I was, working for a big wig news organization. I'm going to be there when it happens.
That was huge news. I had put Olive Garden coming to Alexandria the same level as I had put Trump being president one day, and apparently I was wrong.
You're wrong about both. Yeah.
Olive Garden came to Alexandria. So, are we sounding okay out there? My volume is way low. Okay, so I don't know what's going on over here, but
you're in trouble.
All right, I see the needle moving a lot more now. Thank you. The master mixer just came in and told me to change.
Sometimes
something.
we don't know because we just don't know. April Fools, your volume was fine.
April Fools. Well, very good. Excuse me. So, hey, coming up today down in Baton Rouge, there's lots of House committee meetings, and I want to give credit to whoever the webmaster is at legis.la.gov because they have made it so easy to follow along. Today, for example, in the House, you have the Education Committee meeting in room 1 at 9 o'clock, the Insurance Committee meeting in room 4 at 9 o'clock, the Natural Resource and Environment Committee meeting in room 5 at 9 o'clock, the Administration of Criminal Justice and the House and Governmental Affairs Committees both meet at 10 a.m., then over in Senate, you have what they affectionately call Jude A and Jude C, which is Judiciary A and Judiciary C, at 9 for Jude A, 9:30 for Jude C. And then Agriculture, Forestry, Agriculture, and Rural Development meets at 10. And Jude B, not to be left out, will meet at 10:30. I should say, though, that the Agriculture Committee did get canceled. The beauty of it is you can go on to legis.la.gov and you can actually click on any one of those meetings. You can see the things that are going to be talked about. For example, in the meeting that's taking place at the House Committee of Natural Resources and Environment at 9 a.m., they have one item on the agenda, which is HB 7 by State Representative Mike Johnson, Speaker Pro Tem, regarding the property expropriation issue enacting the Louisiana Landowners Protection Act. And so that's the only thing on the agenda, nothing else to discuss. You don't have to wade through other testimony, you can just click on there and it'll be live on the website there. You can listen to it, watch it. You can even go back later and view the recording of it. So that's a great resource for you if you're trying to follow stuff. For example, over in the education, they're handling about 8 bills today, stuff about athletics, asking the LHSAA to recognize dance and cheer as sanctioned sports. That's what we need, right, is LHSAA to govern a few more things in Louisiana. It also there's a bill by Representative Bayham to prohibit, with certain exceptions, a public post-secondary education institution from prohibiting a student from possessing self-defense chemical spray. And so apparently that's something that's important. There are other bills. There would be increasing the penalties on assault and battery on teachers or school employees, issues about this Louisiana Commission on Civic Education, revising the eligibility requirements for TOPS Tech Award, some other stuff about the MJ Foster Promise Program, another bill regarding scholarships provided for firefighters injured in the line of duty or spouses of firefighters injured or killed in the line of duties, saying that these scholarships can be used for master's degrees, not just bachelor degrees. Another bill regarding TOPS, the initial and the continuing education or eligibility requirements for the TOPS Tech Award, and then letting it be used at Louisiana College, a community and technical college system, and then early childhood stuff. So, I mean, look, like I say, great resource. Check it out if you're interested in anything that might be coming before any of those committees. legis.la.gov is the place you want to be. So, there you go.
Boo!
And you'll be checking it out, right?
One of my first news job was I got hired part-time at Channel 5 to be the state politics reporter, meaning I would go down to Baton Rouge and cover the session. I'm done. You're done. I'll cover the big stuff, though, from here, but in my own way. But man, it's just not my favorite thing to do.
Well, we had 2 calls from Baton Rouge this morning that both were there, I guess, to give testimony or witness testimony. And it is a big deal. I have testified before some committees, never on the full. I don't think the floor has testimony, but the committees is where the testimony takes place. And it's a little bit intimidating. There are regulars down there. You can tell after a while who the regulars are.
They know where they're going.
They know what's going on. They know, you put in a red card or a green card to demonstrate opposition or support, and you check on those cards whether you want to talk or not. And to the credit of the committee chairpersons, they recognize every single person that wants to talk. If you want to talk, you're going to get to talk. You may have a limited time, but you're going to get to talk. And I think that's an amazing thing that John Q. Citizen from Podunkville, Louisiana, can go to the state capitol, sign a card, and get to speak to any issue that is important to him. I love that about our government system. So,
yeah, that's good. I'm going to let them do
it. You've had enough of that. The hardest part is finding parking.
That's what okay, I'll rephrase this. It's the hassle of getting into the whole situation that aggravates me. It's just so annoying and stressful.
It is pretty awesome, though, to walk the hallowed halls of that building. Once you get through security, once you find a parking spot a mile and a half away and get over to it, and the grounds are immaculate. Have you ever been up to the observation balcony?
I think I've been everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, look, it's a pretty building, and when you go to the what do you call it? The foyer between the 2 chambers. It's very pretty over there.
Sure.
Yeah. There's some good
go
stuff.
See the bullet hole in the wall where UEP Long was killed.
Oh, yeah. I did that when I was in grade school, I think.
Yeah, like we'll say 5th grade maybe.
Yeah.
Very common for schools to take the trips there. All right. We got somebody going to save us from ourselves and give us a phone call. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Stephen and Nathan.
Hey, it's Walter again. I was listening and falling asleep with you 2 guys, so I figured I'd spice it up.
We appreciate it. I started talking about the contents of the committee meetings, and you started going to Snoozeville, right?
I love it. But, that's one great thing about going up there. Now, there's a few notes you might want to put on there. There is construction going on. There's one entrance to get into the Capitol. So parking is very limited. They have parking by the casino, which is, you could even use a parking lot at the casino, but it's going to be a walk. If you want to say something, go early. I recommend hitting the cafeteria about 8 o'clock, but only one entrance going in there for the general public. And I want to see that's on the east side of it. And I've never seen a line like TSA lines, but they do a very good job in getting in there. And also on the website, you can actually create an account and follow the bills that you're interested in.
That is true.
So, yeah, it's a very, very interesting thing. We do have one other bill, which you might be interested in. It's SB 221 by Senator Boudreaux from Lafayette. It will give the ability, believe it or not, of an ambulance to bill Medicaid for a service provided, not transported. So if I go to your house, I treat you, you don't feel like going to the hospital, you're not necessarily going to need to go to the hospital, you've been through this before, and I leave you there. Right now, the ambulance company does not get paid for that. And that happens all the time, So this bill will allow the ambulance company to bill Medicare for going out there, for responding to it and treatment. I'm not sure. Hopefully it'll get refined a little bit more as far as what treatment is provided. So if I go out and take a blood pressure, do you think that's worth $500 of Medicare money? I would say not. But we do have interest. We have certain conditions. We go out, give you sugar, you're diabetic, you mess up on your insulin, you get up, you eat, you're fine. You don't need to go to the hospital because all they go to do is make sure you eat and send you home. So that would be something that we could bill that, we use equipment, diesel. There's a cost to responding. So that bill is going to give the ambulance companies a little bit more money because none of that actually came up as far as the costs in the billing process. We're still getting the same billing money from, back a couple of years ago before this crisis hit us.
So, Walter, why does it take a state law to allow billing to a federal agency?
I don't. Well, it's Medicaid, so it's a state agency.
Oh, Medicaid. I thought you said Medicare, Medicaid, which is governed by the state.
Do.
Okay, very good.
Right. Now,
that
in D.C., in D.C., I was up there last week, and that was one of the bills that we're pushing for Medicare. It's called Treatment in Place, which, the ambulance responds, they don't transport, they don't get paid. So the savings is in the mileage. You don't have much, and the saving is the hospital ER visit, unnecessary visit. So, private companies and really push for transport because that's the only way they get paid.
Gotcha.
So this is something that'll really help the private companies and even the municipalities do the same thing. So
interesting.
I just want to keep on. So when you create your account, because I know Steve is going to create an account and follow the bill.
I'll follow it from my comforting Central Louisiana home.
Right upper right-hand corner, click on My Ledges, and then you create your account there. It's very simple, very easy to do, and a great way to keep tabs of what's going on down there.
My favorite part of going to Baton Rouge to cover it was afterwards. There was a place called Pita Pit. It's like a Subway, but with pita bread. It was fantastic. I love going there. It was good.
Yeah, I saw, I forgot which senator it was, but he's over to Pineville, Alexandria downtown area. Nice guy. Spoke to him last night. I'll be at the Capitol tomorrow after
Ed Larbadine?
I think that might be it. There's so many of them.
There's a lot.
But,
indeed.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Well, thank you for the call. We got to take a break. Always good hearing from you, Walter.
Right.
Call us back. Let us know what's happening in Baton Rouge on a regular basis. All right.
back. Called you twice today. Come on, man.
All right, see you. Bye-bye. Back with more Talkback after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
Attention all real estate agents, property owners, and lenders. When you are
However, there's a difference between carbon capture and carbon sequestration. And I get the feeling that there are some in our state legislature who are attempting to put the two together to make it seem like they are both acceptable.
So it's interesting. Carbon capture and carbon sequestration have been used synonymously, it feels like, but they certainly are different technologies, right?
Well, of course. And what people are objecting to is sequestration of huge amounts of pressure.
Right. Well, and that's where the biggest concern has been. What are the effects of that sequestration? How long will it stay there? Will it move? Will it affect a aquifer? You know, these are the things that I think have been pointed out well by you and others as questions that many people feel like have not been responded to. Do you now assume then that you'll support Representative Johnson's bills to limit or to give local jurisdictions the ability to vote on that?
Yeah, but I'm a pessimist. I figure basically that whatever, if it is approved in the House, it'll die in the Senate, or if it gets through the Senate, the governor will veto it, and there won't be any veto override session. So, in essence, our representatives can say, "We tried," kind of like getting tossed in the briar patch. If you're Brer Rabbit.
Well, definitely appreciate that perspective. Unfortunately, it's not an uncommon one to feel that way, but I would look forward to the debate today. I'm going to do my best to watch some of that in the Natural Resources Committee. I'm very curious to see, if there are red cards and green cards assigned, and who opposes, who supports. So.
I was going to change the subject.
Yeah, go ahead.
There was something on Facebook, and I assume it was just some kind of red flag that was tossed in to excite people. But if it's potentially true, it's kind of sad that there was a movement allegedly to get rid of the women's basketball coach at LSU because she blew the tournament. And I looked up, and apparently she has 7 years left on a 10-year contract and at around $4 million a year. And I can't believe that there are actually people who would want to pay the lady off $28 million and go try to find somebody else to replace her.
That's hard to believe. And I did hear her respond, someone saying the other day about she was going to be retiring soon. And she's like, don't believe every stupid thing you hear on the internet. So,
the internet is rife with stuff that's kind of interesting.
No doubt.
But the only reason why anyone in that kind of position would consider retirement is if there was a health issue.
Right. Of course, I think it may be caught up with the whole Will Wade stuff, him coming back to LSU and returning, and that may just have incited the fervor of conversation.
By the way, I wanted to mention to Stephen that Pitkin did win the ladies basketball championship, and I think one of their wins getting there was over Fairview.
Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty surprising.
Yeah, well, apparently they were both excellent teams.
Yeah, they're always pretty good, and the rivalry continues.
Yeah, well, just make sure that you have your vehicle adequately protected the next time you visit.
I have my armor ready for next time.
Who do you have insurance with? Because you might want to give them a heads up.
Exactly. Got to be careful going to that gas station.
Hey, caller, I want to say something to you. Thank you that when you call, we get to hear the sounds of nature in the background. I know that's not a soundtrack. I'm not sure where your seat is, but we get to hear those beautiful, lovely birds just chirping away as you talk to us. Are you on the back porch or?
Yeah, I'm looking out over Coteau Lake.
Wonderful. Man, that's living, brother. That's living.
Oh, by the way, years ago, there used to be a guy that would host sometimes, and he was a broadcaster for the LSU network. I can't remember his name, but he was.
Is that Lynn Rollins?
That's it.
Yeah, Lynn Rollins. And he was an outdoorsman. He loved to hunt and fish. And back then, there were actually regular discussions of hunting and fishing. And I'm thinking back to the fellow that invited you two guys fishing.
Oh, Brendan?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about the first time I've heard somebody mention hunting and fishing on the show for months.
We need to up the masculine nature of this show somehow. We have three men, but I don't think any of us are
I love
avid hunters or fishers.
No.
I used to hunt in my younger years. I haven't hunted in years, and I got rid of my boat a couple of years ago, and so I haven't really fished a whole lot, although my kids like it, so I got to get back into it.
Well, it sounds like you guys go to the seafood restaurant.
We see food, we eat it. That's our diet.
All right, we're at the bottom of the hour. Thank you for the call, as always. Appreciate hearing from you. We'll take more calls after the bottom of the hour break. Come back for more Talk Back.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Some positivity on Wall
have to write that you're a Christian on a business card and then write a verse on it. It kind of rubs me the wrong way. I think people should show what they believe. People should do what they believe. When they come out and say something, it leaves it up to interpretation. Are they saying it to get your business? Are they saying it to make you part of the in crowd and kind of pull you in? Or are they going to actually prove it one way or another? So I just think it's better to be able to lean on people's actual past actions, experiences, than to just believe things people say. And I see it a lot in politics, and it's a little bit of a pet peeve of mine. Just wondering if you guys share the same philosophy or maybe a little bit different there.
Well, you might find my comment surprising, but I don't disagree with you totally. I think when we tout our religiosity or our faith as if it were a calling card, and our life doesn't, of course, if our life doesn't live up to it, that makes us hypocrites. But if we lead with that, then I think there may be something lacking. I certainly am not going to shy away from the fact that I am a believer. It is who I am, but that's not my leading perspective. That's not the thing hello, my name is Nathan. I'm a Christian. How can I serve you? No, it's hopefully you'll see that through my actions and the lifetime that I've lived out in front of you. I don't want to hide issues of conscience and faith and values, but my father-in-law, who was a wealthy businessman, built shopping centers, had a chain of stores in Texas, often, or not often, but a few times said to me that when a person puts a fish on their business card, he almost doesn't want to do business with them because in his mind, he's been burned
agree.
so many times by that. So, and what's bad about that is that there are probably some young guys who are idealistic and they want to do that because in their young age, they desire to live out their faith. But there are so many who have used that surreptitiously, erroneously, fraudulently, that it almost burns the entire class.
For sure. Exactly what I was going to say. Then the problem becomes if you do that, if you do write that on your business card and you do burn someone, or even if you don't and something seems unfair, if you overcharged or if you even charged what you needed to make a profit, but it felt high, suddenly you associate the fish, the cross, everything you ever see on a future business card with, I was burned last time, so maybe that's not the best way to go about doing business in the future.
Well, I don't know if Stephen has any comments about it, but it was a fad for a while, and I think out of that fad, it definitely, many people got burned with that. So yeah, I can't say that I disagree. I would rather say judge a person as Martin Luther King Jr. said by the content of his character, right? Let's see that character on display, not just what you choose to advertise.
I'm sure a lot of them that do that, though, they're probably some really good people, straight shooters who do live by their faith. So just because you do doesn't mean you don't, or you're just projecting. But I think I get what you're saying for sure.
For sure. And I especially appreciate hearing the perspective of a pastor who, almost comes out and says, I wouldn't do that myself. So I appreciate hearing that. Thank you. Absolutely.
I mean, I'm not going to hide from it. And, being in public service for over 2 decades, I never hid my faith, but
sure.
that was not the leading. That was not the tip of the spear for me. So.
Sure. But see, we know that about you, right? Like, even though I've never done business with you, we've never met in real life. Not yet, at least, as far as I know.
I would love to, though.
One day. But I would still know that about you. I know that's a core part of your beliefs, your principles. But if I were to do business with you, I'm sure I don't need to see that on your business card.
There's a big movement, too, with a lot of the schools, especially rural schools, and they're public, where they'll put on their uniforms crosses and all sorts of stuff. Like actually, like at the tournament they had for basketball a couple weeks ago, there was a bunch of those schools, especially smaller ones, with Bible verses or crosses on their uniforms.
That's interesting. Yeah, I 100% wholeheartedly disagree with that. And I mean, we're getting into I guess the bigger issue there of the 10 Commandments of the public schools. And I haven't had enough time to pay attention to see what's going on there. But, you start putting up one religion. Yeah. What's that?
It's moving forward. Yeah.
It's moving forward.
Yeah.
I'm interested in seeing how every other religion responds and how much airtime that each other religion's going to get out there in the process. So we'll see what happens. You've opened a can of worms, and we'll have to just see how that works.
Opened the can of worms.
I don't know where Nathan is on this, but I'm a Christian, and I don't agree with putting or mandating schools to put up the 10 Commandments. I think it's a slippery slope. And then I think it kind of turns people off too, like you're mandated to, we're forcing this on you, and then it makes them probably turn away from Christianity for a lot of people, I'm afraid of.
Sure, and I'm sure a lot of lesson plans will be designed around let's follow Commandment 3 today, or we're going to try to espouse Commandment 7 today, and it's gonna become an interesting time, that's for sure.
Well, I appreciate your call, Sam. We're a couple minutes late. One day, I really, honestly would love to meet you, break bread with you, and I've always enjoyed your perspective. Obviously, we don't agree on every single thing, but you are always so agreeable. It's hard not to want to have a good conversation with you. So thank you.
Well, thank you.
All right.
We can have our differences and still be friends.
Absolutely.
Always, so
I appreciate that.
Well, what are y'all's differences? I want to know.
Oh, well,
we'll have a 3-hour call about it when you say.
Let's do that another day. I got to take this break. I'm 3 minutes late for it. We'll come back with the next call right after this.
KSYL.
Hello, I'm Sarah Kramer of Kramer Funeral Home. Funerals don't just signify that a life has ended. They celebrate that a life was lived and loved. At Kramer Funeral Home, we understand the importance of celebrating a life well lived. And since no two people are alike, no two funerals should be alike. We will assist you step by step in creating a meaningful service that honors your loved one's unique life. Let us, the staff at Kramer Funeral Home, be your personal guide.
On the line. Good morning. You're on Talk Back with Stephen and Nathan.
Talking about what he just called about, my first pastor who baptized me, brought me to Christ, he talked about that. He said, if you're dealing with any kind of business person or a contractor and they want to start using their Christian faith as a persuasion tactic to do business with them, you see, you better hold on to your wallet.
Well, it's sad. I remember when my father-in-law made the comment to me, and I was a young person. He wasn't my father-in-law yet when he made the comment that somebody who has a fish on their sign or on their business, and this would have been like 1984, 85, he said he'd rather not do business with somebody who does that because he's been burned too many times. And I was saddened by that, but I guess after a few years, I understand that perspective.
Hey, talking about the crawfish professor and all the birds at his house, my sister-in-law lives in England Oaks, and she had cancer, and I was taking her for all her doctor visits, and she had 35 radiation treatments and all this, and anyway, I'd go pick her up in England Oaks. You would not believe how many birds there were out there. It was just a bird sanctuary. It was really cool riding around seeing all the birds. And anyway, come to find out, well, all the elderly people that live out there, they were all feeding the birds.
Huh. Must have been a bunch of fat birds out there.
Oh, yeah. There was one guy, he would pour sunflower seeds out on his driveway. He even had a whole flock of doves. Anyway, it was really cool. But then they had all the birds disappeared. And I asked my sister-in-law. She said, well, they had to quit feeding the birds because they were having so many problems with rodents, rats and mice getting into people's cars and chewing the wires on their vehicles. Anyway, they all had to quit feeding the birds. So now they don't have any. You go out there, you don't see any birds hardly. Kind of sad, but
it is.
Those rats, mice, causing really a lot of problems, a lot of expense. Now, they can do some major damage to a vehicle. They get in there and start chewing all the wires up. Cost thousands and thousands of dollars.
Right. You're right. I hadn't thought about that. So the birds weren't the only ones enjoying the abundant harvest or the abundant supply of food. It attracted the undesirables.
I used to feed the birds the year round here. And, well, of course, the bird feeders attract squirrels, but then the squirrels attract rattlesnakes. So I got to where I was catching like 4 or 5 rattlesnakes a year in my yard. I had to quit.
Well, that's no fun.
I just feed them in the winter. Once it gets warmer weather, I had to quit.
They're on their own, huh? Goodness gracious. Well, got to be careful. It is fun. My dad has had some squirrel feeders, literal squirrel feeders in his backyard, but they're acrobatic stuff. And man, those squirrels are inventive. They ride the roller coasters. They can do all sorts of acrobatic things, get into that corn that he puts out for them. So that's always been enjoyable to watch.
That was pretty scary having all those rattlesnakes.
Oh, I can imagine. I didn't realize. So what is it about squirrels that attract rattlesnakes? Do you know?
The squirrels are on the ground, rattlesnakes crawl around, and they, you know how they flick their tongue out constantly and pull it back. That's how they pick up scent. So they would actually lay at the base. The rattlesnakes would lay at the base of the tree coiled up. And the squirrel would come down the tree, and they bite them, grab them. I even had a rattlesnake on my back porch, on my porches in my house.
No,
couple.
Sir. Wow.
I didn't kill them. I would catch them and relocate them.
Well, Google says, yes, ground squirrels can attract rattlesnakes because they are a primary food source, particularly young pups, making areas with high squirrel populations attractive to snakes. We learn something new every day, man. I appreciate that education.
Okay. Have a good day.
You too. We'll take a break, come back to the next caller on Talkback. Stick around for more.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics.
The world once needed lots of paper made right here in central Louisiana. Now we're making a comeback with clean methanol. Beaver Lake Renewable Energy will turn Louisiana wood into fuel, creating hundreds of direct and
great conversations. Another phone call. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Stephen and Nathan.
I was listening to your last conversation. One of the solutions to your problem with the mice and rats is called a cat.
True.
And I live in the country, and I guess I've had cats for a number of years, and it's not unusual for them to bring a rat or a mouse. and lay it up on the concrete. So if you don't have mice, you probably are not going to have snakes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, and then the other quick story is a lady in church one time, she asked me, she asked me if I could get her a couple of cats, because what happened to her is what he was talking about the rat going up inside the car and chewed up all the wires. And the reason they chew those wires up, I found out, is because the coating on those wires, a lot of it is made out of soybean base.
Oh,
and I didn't know
really?
that.
I had no clue of that.
I didn't know that either. Somebody told me that, and I asked another person, and they said, yeah. So, so that's why they have a tendency to chew those wires. So, get a cat, solves the problem, and you can have. I know cats should stay inside, but you can have a couple outside cats, and they'll take care of that problem, and you don't have to worry about it anymore seriously. So.
At my last house, where we lived over 20 years, we had moles in the backyard. You would see those little hills, not hills, tunnels. The tops of the tunnels run through the backyard everywhere. And we got an outside cat. And I'm going to tell you, I had a mole on my doorstep every day for probably 3 or 4 weeks. Every day, my cat brought me, like, look at me, I have a present for you. And guess what? We had no more moles after that.
Yep. And that's what I say, a solution. A lot of people don't like cats and everything else, but they're a simple solution. And a lot of cats get along. I got dogs and cats, and they get along just fine. They, play with each other, and, so that would be my solution. If you got listeners that live where they can have an outside cat, I would suggest that you adopt a cat and get a couple of them. So it costs you $300 or $400 or $500 a year for food and vet bill and everything else, but that's a whole lot cheaper than $1,500 for having. Actually, probably more than that, because in some cases they may have to pull your whole dashboard out to get up inside those wires.
No doubt about it. That's a much cheaper solution.
Yeah.
And
so get a cat.
Some of those cats can be great companions. They rub up against you, sit in your lap. A purring cat in your lap is pretty much the best kind of medicine that you can get.
Every morning on the front porch with a cup of coffee and the cat. And she just loves to be brushed and everything else. So anyway, if you got listeners who got, even if you don't have the problem, you're going to have the problem eventually, because I had it once myself years ago. Went up inside my Ford pickup and chewed some wires off of stuff, but it was something that was repairable under the hood. So if you got, even if you don't have it, just go get a cat. It's very simple.
There you go.
We lived out in the middle of nowhere, and lots of property, and we had at least 9 or 10 cats all the time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Why do you
think? They gave me something to do. I had to go look for kittens all the time. It was like, you had to hunt for kittens.
Look, I grew up in Iowa. I wasn't on the farm, but I spent a lot of time on the farm, my relatives, and they always had cats. And the reason they had cats is to get rid of the mice. That's very simple.
Yep.
So, all right, have a blessed weekend.
You too, my friend. Thank you for your call. Always love hearing from our regular callers, and love hearing from the new caller we had today, and the infrequent callers. Had Walter called us, ended up calling us twice. Had FedEx Sam give us a call back. We got to set up coffee with FedEx Sam. We got to get FedEx Sam and UPS Dave. I don't know if we can still call him UPS Dave since he's retired, but that moniker will stick. We got to get those guys together. That would be so much fun.
The man formerly known as UPS Dave.
That's right, but the man formerly known as, just like the artist formerly known as Prince.
UPS Dave Emeritus.
UPS Emeritus. I love that. Good stuff. Well, it's been a great show this morning. Always enjoy visiting with you, Stephen. We'll do it again tomorrow morning. We don't have any guests lined up this week, so if you
I think we should do the whole week without them and see how we do.
Let's see if we can survive. By the way, I did a little math. There's about 4 million cars registered in the state of Louisiana. Vehicles, not cars, but vehicles, trucks, pickup trucks, all that stuff. And at $10 a whack for an inspection sticker, that's $40 million. So half of it goes to state. So $20 million goes to state. It's divided between OMV, and the bigger bulk goes to state troop. I think the state troop gets between $16, $17 million a year from those. Mm-hmm. So that's not an insignificant resource. But let me tell you something else that's not been talked about. And I need to find out if somebody can remember the truth of this. I was told years ago that Louisiana made money when oil was above $60 a barrel. And it's been above $60 a barrel. I'm talking about the state treasury gets these excise taxes. And I've got a feeling that if the oil prices continue to be as high as they are, we're going to see another budget surplus that the lawmakers get to spend. And so I'm curious, does anybody else remember that? Was it $40 a barrel or $60 a barrel? There was a number that if it went below that price, that the state was in trouble because they budget a certain number based on excise taxes and income from the oil revenue. And when it's above that number, they're in hog heaven. So did you ever hear that?
No, I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. Well, we'll search that up and maybe somebody will call us and let us know. Other interesting things that have happening, of course, Wade Williams is coming back to Will Wade, I'll get the name right, is coming back to coach LSU. It's going to be interesting to see. I heard this morning Houston's TSA lines are back to almost normal, so that's a good thing. And what else was it I was looking at that was intriguing? DOTD making some moves and repairing some lights and some I-49 infrastructure around Central Louisiana, so that stuff is taking place. Lots of good stuff taken around Central Louisiana. Come back tomorrow. Give us a call. Be part of the conversation.